السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Continuing on the chapter of knowledge, the next hadith. وعن سهل بن سعد رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لعلي رضي الله عنه. So Sahl bin Sa'd, he says that the Messenger of Allah said to Ali, فوالله لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا. Says that I swear by Allah, the Messenger of Allah is saying this, I swear by Allah that if one person is guided through you, خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ حُمُرِ النِّعَمِ, it will be better for you than having an entire herd of red camels. Okay, so what are red camels, first of all? Red camels were considered to be the highest level of most expensive, rare type of camel that you could find in Arabia. It's like the red Ferraris, you know, the sports cars, the supercars, something very valuable. He said if you were to have an entire fleet of those, imagine someone would be so shocked, like not only one, but we get so many of them. He says if one person was guided through you, then it would be better than basically as many luxurious things, as many amazing things that you could possibly get in this life. So what does that mean for somebody to be guided through you? There's a few things. Number one, the context of this hadith is that the Messenger of Allah said this to Ali radiallahu anhu. The context in which he said it was when he was going to engage in what's known as the Battle of Khaybar. The Battle of Khaybar is a very important and significant battle in the history of Islam, but it was also a very dangerous one. Right, so it's interesting because this enemy hates Islam. They're against the Muslims, and yet when he goes and right at this moment, even an enemy, you'd think these people will never accept Islam. People are These people are like the worst of the worst. This was a fortress of Jews who had gathered the three other Jewish tribes that had been kicked out of Arabia. Let's see. Quick trivia. Who knows the three tribes that tried to fight the Muslims in and around Medina? Banu Qurayza, one. Second one? Banu Qaynuqa and Banu Nadir. Okay, these three tribes. So the leaders from these three tribes, after they left, many of them, where did they end up? At Khaybar. Powerful fortress. Anyways, battle takes place and everything. Right before the battle takes place, the Messenger of Allah is telling Ali that, you know what, if one person can be guided through you, it's better than all the things in this dunya. So first lesson is that you never give up on anybody. Even your worst enemy, you think, you know what, yeah, you prepare, you be careful, but you know what, even among a group of people who are so hostile to you, who hate you so much, you can find even guidance to those people, number one. Number two, it is our job as Muslims to convey the message of Islam to other people. And what happens is people will fall into one of two extremes. The one extreme that they can fall into is they push too much, they're too pushy, which they teach somebody else about Islam. And that, for a lot of Americans, that can be a turnoff. You know, what's wrong with you? How can you not believe that there's a God? This is the truth, look at this, and you keep on hammering them. And the second extreme is the opposite. The opposite is you pretend like you're not Muslim. My name, you know, let's say my name is Yusuf. I'm just Joey, man. You know, it's like Joey. No one knows that Joey's even a Muslim. Pretends at work like he's not even a Muslim. Never mentioned anything about Islam. Ever been working there for 15 years. Not a single employee knows that he's a Muslim. He's never brought up anything about Ramadan. Doesn't know anything. Just his goal is there. My co-workers, I'm fine with them. I laugh with them. I'm nice with them. This is where I make my money, but I have no responsibility to these kuffar, you know, to convey the message of Islam. That extreme mentality is very unhealthy. We have to realize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us in this place for a reason. When 99% of the population in America is not Muslim, that means there's a greater responsibility that we have to do something about that and to convey the message of Islam with wisdom in a way that we can convey it. That's on an individual level. We should share Islam. It's not just say this is for us, it belongs to us. And these other people, they're so lost they'll never consider it. What are you talking about? Come and go and sit and meet with the new Muslim group and ask each and every single one of them how they discovered Islam. And more often than not, someone along the way shared one little thing about Islam, and that started them in the right direction. And the last point is on a societal level, on a collective level. In the 1970s or 1980s, there was a famous sheikh, scholar by the name of Sheikh Abul Hasan al-Nadwi. And he visited the United States. He's a very famous Indian scholar. He's been involved with many Islamic movements. And he had his speeches compiled into a book called From the Depth of the Heart in America. And he was giving nasiha and he was giving advice to the Muslims at the time. And he said, Muslims, you in here in America, you have a responsibility to convey the message of Islam. He said, if you look at most people who came to this country, who migrated to this country, he said, why did they come here? He said, they came here to take. Meaning there's security, there's peace, there's good opportunity, there's jobs, there's this, there's that. And he said, it's very important as a society, as a collective, that when people come to a country, when they go somewhere, you have to realize that they're not just there to take, but they're there to give. And he says, what do Muslims have to give that the people of America need? Do they need science? Do they need structure? Do they need logistics? Do they need this? Do they need that? The number one thing they need in their life that we have, that Muslims have, that they don't have, is La ilaha illallah, is Islam. So it was a very interesting point he made. He said, Muslims, before, when they used to go to other countries, the Sahaba, the generation of the Sahaba, when they would go to different places, they didn't just go to take. They went to give as well. True generosity. And what did they give? They gave Islam. They gave La ilaha illallah. They gave the kalima. They gave the shahada. They gave salah. They gave a different lifestyle so people could see it. So we need to also be of that mindset that, hey, we're not just here when we interact with people, what can I get out of this person? How can I make some money from this other person? No, we have something to give them. There's something that they need. And we can share that, and that's the best thing we can ever share. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this courage and this wisdom and this love for da'wah and conveying the message of Islam in our hearts. Ameen wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.